All right, folks, time to grab the leftovers and heat them up. What we're going to talk about today in the aftermath of, here in the midst of the Thanksgiving weekend holiday celebration, those leftovers, sometimes you got them hanging around. They're just lingering. You got to do something with them. Today, we're going to talk about two leftovers from two big cases that had some sense of resolution during the course of this year. We're talking about, of course, the Madeline Soto case, and her mom is sort of the leftover in that, JennSoto. And then you've got from the Adelson clan, Wendi Adelson. She's testified a lot. She's been given a lot of immunity for her testimony, but what about Wendi Adelson? So during the course of this program, we will take a look at JennSoto, Wendi Adelson, what happens to these women, and perhaps what will happen to these women in the year 2026. I'm Vinny Politan. Welcome to the Tangent True Crime Podcast. Joining me, of course, is Albert H. Wunsch III, Esquire.
Hola, Tangenistas. Hope you had a nice Thanksgiving.
Also with us, the radio legend, the one and only Jonesy.
Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey.
And this is the Tangent Podcast.
Vinny and the Tangents, True Crime Podcast. Vinny has the blue eyes, Al cracks the jokes. Jonesy stays behind his shades, entertaining all the folks. It's Vinny and the Tangents, True Crime Podcast. Load up all your comments, hit those super chats. Let's go smash that like button, so we can all have a blast. Vinny, Al, and Jonesy on the job. They're the Sugar Hill Gang of true crime. They're telling stories of days gone by. They take crime and turn into a good old time. It's Vinny and the Tangents, True Crime Podcast.
Yeah, that's the goal. Take some crime, turn it into a good old time. And obviously we have serious discussions about serious cases. But from time to time, we may go off on a tangent here and there. Anyway, hope your Thanksgiving was great. And right now, we've got some leftovers to dig into. By the way, do you have any actual leftovers you're digging into, Jonesy?
So I went to the Senior Towers to visit a friend just because I thought that would cheer me up to see how other people spend Thanksgiving. Had a lovely avocado dip and a couple of deviled eggs, and then I came home and ate a bag of potato chips. I have some potato chips left. I didn't. It was a big bag, so I didn't quite eat. Neither one of us felt like cooking, and doing the whole shebang. Even though it's my favorite meal of the year, and I'll tell you, it was one of the more festive Thanksgivings I had. Just going over to a friend's place a couple of blocks away and having some leftovers and a slice of frozen pizza.
Was it a senior citizen tower?
In Asbury, there's he lives on the top floor, the 26th floor, so you've got a beautiful view of this senior tower. And, it's basically like subsidized.
Okay.
So it's not like a projects kind of thing, but I think it's run by a Catholic organization.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get on the elevator and these people are coming on and they're struggling a little bit, but they're enjoying Thanksgiving. And somehow it was a nice Thanksgiving in spite of the fact that I missed my favorite meal and I love leftovers.
Yeah. All that in a bag of chips.
But enough about me. How was yours, Albert?
I don't. I'm just too depressed to talk now after that one. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm looking for a vein to open, Jonesy. I mean,
we just didn't feel like cooking.
I mean, I went out with my daughter. We went out to a restaurant, and I had lobster.
Oh.
And so there was nothing left over, and I will be cooking a turkey on Sunday, and we will be my daughter, my son, and I will be dining on that turkey feast after the Jet game on Sunday. But, didn't do a big deal for Thanksgiving because today is the Don Bosco State Championship football game. So I had to get ready doing my activities as the president of the Alumni Association. So yesterday was a lot of planning, getting together for the everything that's going to go forward with regards to the huge tailgate we do starting at 4:00 today at MetLife Stadium. Everyone invited. Okay. Plenty of food, tons of drink, everything. And go Bosco.
Wow, it's at the big stadium.
Yes. Yeah. Against St. Joe's of Montvale.
As president, Al, do you have a security detail?
I of course have a security detail. I have a security detail regardless of my position in life. Okay. Because when you represent 21 police unions, they want you around. So they're constantly keeping an eye on me. So it works out very well.
Fantastic. All right, let's talk about these leftovers. Let's begin. Do you want to pick at the bones of JennSoto, or do you want to heat up Wendi Adelson?
No, let's go with Wendy first, because that one is really the most perplexing of all.
Yeah.
At how that she has basically, I mean, she's a great magician. She has disappeared from anything and everything after she's given testimony, after she's done this, after she's done that. And I mean, she's the one that everyone keeps pointing the finger at, and yet nobody from law enforcement is taking the bait.
Well, the first thing about her, I think that is significant, that is really significant, is in her first interview, right? Obviously, she's going to be one of the first people law enforcement talk to. She mentions like Charlie hiring a hitman, but it was a joke,
Right.
and she sort of like offhand and then dismisses it. As you evaluate that in retrospect, like, why would she do that? Like, so there's a couple scenarios I see. One, it's like she has no idea who killed, and then she's just like, everything that comes to her mind, she is saying. Like, that's like she's just being completely honest, right? That's one aspect of it, right? Another way you can look at it is that she is from the get-go taking attention from directly herself and pushing it onto other members of the family, like her brother. Or three, other people had heard that, so she knew she had to address it out of the box because he had said it in front of other people, like perhaps her ex-boyfriend who they allegedly tried to set up for this whole thing. Why do you think she right away, like it's very quickly within her first interview, she's mentioning, oh yeah, my brother joked about hiring a hitman.
Even it's like it's the Ola man of Florida. Okay, so that I automatically get suspicious.
How's that like the Ola man? The Ola man's pointing the finger at somebody else.
No. But what it is you're saying, well, she's pointing the finger at someone else. My brother hired a hit. I said he was going to hire him.
Like he did.
But the point was, okay, gets it away from her. Okay, Ola man gets it away from her, from Soto. The throwing this comment out flippantly is like, oh, I guess he probably, my brother joked about hiring a hitman. Okay. It just takes the scent off of her and would keep her, isolated from anyone going, well, she wouldn't be stupid enough to say something about it if she knew something about it.
Apparently she is.
But, that's how I look at it. I look at it from the standpoint that anyone who's in these situations think that if they throw something out there in a flippant manner, then you've got a situation where they think that's going to take the scent off of them. That's always the criminal thinking they're smarter than the.
But she's not just a criminal; she would be a co-conspirator.
No doubt.
Right. So that, like, why is she in the first, whatever it is, 15 minutes of speaking with law enforcement, throwing her brother under the bus? I've been perplexed by this from the beginning. I never understood it because it never made we could say that she's not the brightest, but like she's a lawyer. Maybe she's very bright and trying to overthink this. I can't get a handle on it. It's bizarre. And it also plays into like family dynamics because Charlie was the one who was always like looking out for his sister or saying he was.
There's no honor amongst thieves, one's often said. And, you know, it certainly could
But
have been.
it's unprovoked. It's like in the first 15 minutes of this, how on earth would police suspect that it was a hired gun that did this, right? Like she's laying out exactly what it is. That's what I don't understand. And I think if we knew the answer to that, I think that would be the key to unlocking everything here. Like everything.
But you know, in and of itself, you would think that law enforcement would say that would be enough to say she's in on the conspiracy. I mean, that's the point I look at. I look at it from a standpoint that as soon as she throws that line out, as far as
why does she throw the line out is really what I want to handle here first.
Because she may be thinking she's going to take it off of her. Okay, she may be thinking that
she's right from the get-go, we're going to get caught. I'm not going down. But remember how long this case took to solve.
I know.
Even with her providing that information. Like we are 11 years past all of this happening. And maybe you're right, Al, because she hasn't been charged. Maybe throwing the scent that way was the right play for her to completely blow up her own family for herself. Like how damaged is that family? Or I mean, there's another scenario where she knows her family did it, but she's angry that they did. Is that possible?
That's possible, but that hasn't come out in her testimony or anything along those ways. She hasn't demonstrated that on the stand. She hasn't demonstrated that in public. There's been nothing along the lines that would lead me to believe that was the scenario. You do have a situation though that look, she is a lawyer. She's smart. She's obviously was able to get through law school. That's no easy feat.
I'm smart.
Well, you know what happened? Hopefully she won't take a boat and finish the Hail Mary and then she'll be finished. But the scenario with regards to this is that you've got a comment that goes out there that has basically separated her from the wheat from the chaff. And she's still standing. And that self-preservation that mama, she's the mother, she's got kids she's got to raise, and she's not going to allow that to be taken away from her. So she threw that out there. And here's
the complication for all of this, right? I'm talking about family dynamics here, Jonesy. If she's part of this, and she's conspiring along with her mother and her brother, and she immediately throws them under the bus to throw the scent off of her, that means that she made a choice that I want to raise my children in a family of chaos. I want to raise my children in South Florida without a father and with a brother, an uncle who's going to go to prison for killing the like to me that doesn't make sense. If she's in on the conspiracy and then she blows up her family purposely to save herself within the first 20 minutes of this investigation, to me that doesn't make family dynamic sense. It's not a plan for how you want to raise your kids, regardless of what you think of your ex. It doesn't make sense to me at all. Does it make sense to you, Jonesy?
Well, you want to survive it, right? So if you have to throw other people under the bus and raise your children under those circumstances, she's just trying to get away with whatever she may or may have not done. The thing that strikes me most is the idea that it's a joke. Oh yeah, I do that all the time. Talk to hitmen because I think it's funny.
Vinny, I don't think you appreciate that, you've got a family dynamic that you appreciate and you grew up well and you're very vested in the family. We've seen these people that are her family members. This is not a group that I think is particularly warm. This is not a group that I find to be the type of people I want to be sitting around the table with. Okay. There is a mother and that is,
But what's her plan? What is her, if that's the plan, right? I'm going to conspire with my brother, my mother. We're going to hire a hitman. We're going to take out Danny, and then my children will be fatherless, and then I'll be able to move to South Florida and raise my kids as my own and not make them too Jewish like Danny wanted to do. Like, and then my brother is going to be implicated in all of this. Like, how is that a plan on how the lives you want to create for your children? I don't understand that.
Wait a minute,
no sense. It's complete chaos. Then her children have no grandmother, no uncle. They've got no father. They've got the Adelson name that forever on the internet, you Google it, all of this stuff comes up. How could any mother, even if you are a really bitter ex, how could any mother want that to be the plan for her children?
Because it probably isn't her plan. I mean, she's
okay. So what was the plan then? That's what I'm trying to get to.
So the point is that her mother, okay, set the wheels in dynamics, set the wheels going, and she wanted, she's basically sitting there watching the wheels go round and round, like the song by John Lennon. And this is where she got left with. So
wait. What are you saying, that she is or is not part of the plan and the conspiracy? That's a big difference now. Whether she is or isn't. Is it Charlie and Donna, or is it Charlie, Donna, and Wendy?
I believe that she is aware of the plan. I believe that she may have, she did not consent to the plan, and that she basically is looking for any way to stay out of the plan. And that's where she went with on that. And
okay.
If you're aware though, and you choose not to do anything about it, isn't that a level of guilt?
That's a
Not
possibility.
necessarily. You have to take a step. If you're part of the conspiracy, you have to actually do something.
Right. So you have to do more than just say you're aware of it. You have to do something in furtherance of it. And I mean, what are they going to say that she did? Took the kids away from, got the kids out of the area.
Provided the schedule, provided Danny's schedule, where he was going to be, his license plate, that sort of information. That's how they're going to tie her into all of this.
But, you're putting into this scenario the fact that, so these kids are denied now a grandmother. They still have their grandfather. They're denied their uncle. Well, big deal. Okay. She's young. She's certainly going to be able to find somebody else.
Really? Wait, really? Who's gonna marry into that family now?
Well, the bottom line is that, I mean, she's an attractive. Believe there were people that are sending.
What quality? They're not going to get Danny quality. You're going to get the Fugazi. You're going to get like the scratch and dent husband. Who's going to marry into that?
And I think they call them 8-footers. They look good from 8 foot away.
You're marrying her. You're not marrying into the family. And you can choose your friends. You can't choose your in-laws, Vin. So the bottom line is that you've got a scenario there that there were people that were sending proposals to Charles Manson, for God's sake.
Okay, that's different. That's different. It's different. These are like the Adelsons. Like, I'm a lawyer. We live down in South Florida. We live in a beautiful. We have like a nice, normal, affluent type of life. We do. We take vacations. We go to the best schools. Our children grow up. They become professionals. Like, that's all part of the plan. That's not part of the Manson thing. That's different. That's different. Like, she picked out Danny because Danny was smart. He was a Harvard smarty. He was Jewish. He was handsome.
I
He was
think
all
Mom
those
picked
things.
out.
That's what she wanted, and that's what Donna wanted for her as well. Like, that was part of the prerequisite. Like, she's had boyfriends and stuff, I'm sure, but like, she's not getting someone on the quality that she looks for. And I know there's different qualities in people, but Dan was a guy who was family oriented, totally into his children, an educated, smart, but like a professional with a career and a path and a vision and all of that, and devout faith. Like, he had the whole package. And obviously it wasn't the package in the end that she wanted. It didn't work out. I get it. It happens. But like, she's not going to get somebody of that quality with all of this baggage. My mother's in prison for killing my former ex. Oh, I'll marry into your family because I want to be on the other end of that when things go south.
She's not a member of the Westies, for God's sakes. I mean, it's not like she's in a mob. Okay, this is a
No,
situation.
no,
where,
but they're connected to the Latin Kings.
Well, tangentially.
Boom.
I don't think that they're that involved with the Latin Kings, but I mean, you're not talking about somebody here who is, that John Gotti's daughter. I mean, it is a scenario that it is a woman. Okay, her mother, and I think the mother obviously was the one that steered her in the first place. She was the one that wanted this kind of a relationship, this, that, the other thing, and she's breaking free. She's breaking free. And she'll find somebody, Vin. And you know what? There's no doubt in my mind she's going to find somebody, okay? Because this is the kind of world we live in. She's got some notoriety. She's got a book in her that's going to be worth substantial amount of money, okay? And there's going to be a movie about it, and she's going to be on the set doing, technical advising and everything along those lines. So you know what? The bottom line is that she's going to move on, and she's going to be fine.
But you're talking about her. I'm talking about her kids, because this whole controversy was over a child custody battle, right? It was a child custody battle, and okay, if you're how cold could you possibly be that your plan was this was the life for your children? Because if you right out of the box in the first 20 minutes of your interview, you're going to implicate your brother in all of this and tell everyone that it was a hitman, come on. I'm not buying it.
No.
I'm just not buying that this was the plan. There's something else to this. There is something else to all. By the way, take a look. This is her alleged new boyfriend.
Not bad.
now we're playing hot or not. What are we doing here?
I would wear a hat if I were him.
Not a great picture of her. She kind of looks like the Joker.
I think he may be a doctor. I forgot what he is. I don't know if he's a doctor or a salesman or or maybe he's a lawyer. There's some sort of justice event that they're at here together.
Yeah. I just saw that.
Yeah,
she does look like
this is an alleged boyfriend.
You complete me. She looks just like it. But you know what? Look, so she already found somebody. There you go, Vin. So
yeah, it's an alleged boyfriend. We don't know
if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. Okay, that's what I always say.
Johnny Knoxville watching today. Thanks for the entertainment, boys. The only soul in our Raleigh office today. Raleigh. We're going up to Raleigh today. I made ribeye chili yesterday. Plenty left over for football. When are we going to see Jonesy's art collection? And thank you, Johnny. When are we going to see your art collection?
I'll put something together this week.
Collection of people named Art.
Maybe we can see it on our holiday extravaganza.
Oh, that's right. We do have a Christmas special coming up, folks. It's important that you know, and it's important that we remind you about the Christmas special, because it's actually, I would say it's a pretty big deal. Every year we have a Christmas special. This year we're having a Christmas extravaganza.
Really big shoe.
Yes, really big shoe.
Topo Jiju will be here.
Here we go. Is this? Oh, here, check this out, folks. Christmas promo. Let me see if this works.
Well, it's that time of year, you know what I'm talking about, the holiday season, time to get together with family and with friends. And we want to get together with you. We have a big Christmas extravaganza coming up. It's Sunday, December 21st from 7 to 10 p.m. It's the Tangent Christmas Extravaganza 25. You are invited, and you'll have an opportunity to win some amazing prizes. We've got trivia questions, but you gotta watch live to win. So watch the Christmas extravaganza, answer the questions in the chat, and have an opportunity to walk away with some amazing gifts and prizes. Some of the stuff from the Vinny Originale True Crime merch shop. It's going to be awesome. We've got special guest stars. We've got musical numbers. And of course, we've got the Mod Squad with us.
All right, there it is, folks. Sunday, December 21st. Get ready for it. It's going to be amazing. There's an opportunity for you guys to win a lots of prizes. We'll have more details coming up a little bit later in this program. But let me remove that from the screen.
I guess I should explain that, when he asked about my art collection, he's specifically referring to the fabulous series of poker playing and pool shooting dogs that you used to buy in magazines. They would have like a little cardboard cutout,
Gas
a little
station.
perforated thing. Well, you could also send away for it too, or maybe get them at the Ben Franklin along with that artist who did the Big Eye. The children with the big eyes. You remember
It really
that?
does make a great Christmas gift.
I remember that, like, the Sunoco station on Route 4 used to sell the art with the Velvet Elvis and then the Matador and then the dogs playing poker, where the one guy was when the one dog was cheating, passing the ace under the table to
The best place, the best street corner to get like artwork on used to be in Newark on Route 21. There'd be like a vacant lot. Some dude would like set up his van with like giant like topless like velvet paintings and stuff like that. It was quite the sight. I must say I never shopped there.
Well, Christmas is coming, Josie. So
Yes.
maybe we can get you something.
By the way, Julie, 78 SW, greetings from Switzerland.
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 Wow.
What time is it there?
I would say it's the evening. What is it? Probably about
6 hours ahead, right?
6:30 or so. All right. Hello to Switzerland. Do
Well,
they
they can
celebrate
always-
Christmas in Switzerland?
Of course they said. Of course the hills are alive with the sound of music. For God's sakes, I mean, Switzerland is beautiful,
But they don't
around
celebrate
Christmas.
Thanksgiving.
But they don't
No.
celebrate Thanksgiving.
No.
All right. Well, greetings. Great to have you, Julie. Thanks so much.
I will tell you this: that Switzerland was the most expensive country I have ever been in my entire life. You get to Switzerland, you decided, I had to have fondue because I thought that was like the main Swiss thing to have. So I go to this restaurant to have fondue, okay, which was just like cheese with the things they put on, bread, all these other things you dip in and everything else. The bill was over $300 for melted cheese and stale bread and some form of meat. That
For fondue.
You should have chosen the fondant.
Well, I fondant the rest of the day. That's for damn sure.
I've got a fondue set that somebody gave me as a housewarming gift when I first moved into Asbury Park, and I just know it was like a wedding present that they were like regifting.
Yes.
So I'm waiting for their daughter to get married because I'm giving it back. It's unused. I mean, who the hell would use a fondue set in like this century?
All right. So I want to show you something relative to Wendy. Now, one of the big issues about Wendy the day of when Dan was taken out by the hitmen is that she was driving to the store to pick up this liquor for some gathering that night. And it was like the whiskey was like, I don't know if it was whiskey or something. It was called Bullet something. So
Bullet's a bourbon. It's
that's what she was picking up, the Bullet bourbon.
Yeah, it's one of your. It's not a super high end expensive, but it's one of your better quality ones.
So ironically, that's what she says she was picking up, right? So,
Really?
but the route that she took to go there was not the quickest or most direct. And the route she took actually drove her past the street, Danny Street. And the police had it blocked off. And she mentioned that she had driven there and she thought maybe a tree fell down or something. But Julia Janae took the same drive, and you'll hear her voice in here. Julia Janae from Court TV took that same drive and said, as you drive the same route she went and you drive by the street and you look down, you can actually see Danny's house, which is the scene of a red rum that morning. So obviously there'd be tons of police presence at your ex's house where your children were sleeping the night before.
And the other angle on that is if I see like a police or emergency presence on a block that, either I live on or somebody I love lives on, the first thing that crosses my mind is I hope it's not my place. The curiosity is aroused, and you want to find out an answer to that just in case.
Well, she did not. Here's Julie J taking that drive.
I'm just gonna park here.
And you can see the mailbox.
Yeah, sticking out. That's what I mean. Even if there was a police car here, you would see people coming in and out the driveway,
So this is Danny's road. And
you can see
if you look down, there's a couple of mailboxes sticking out. I think it's the one on the right that you can see just as the road is bending. It might be difficult to see in this video.
Is that route in any way out of her way? On the way to the liquor store?
Absolutely is.
Oh,
now the argument that she'll make. Let me throw her argument out there, and you tell me if you think there's any credibility to it. Is sometimes when we go, because she used to live in that house. Okay, is when you go somewhere, sometimes you won't go the most direct way. You go the way on the roads that you're familiar with.
That's not uncommon.
That's not crazy, right? But I think it's less common these days when wherever I go, I put it, even when I go to work every night, the same place, I still put in my Google Maps.
that's interesting.
Yes, I don't. I mean, I've got my route to go, and that's the way I go.
Now, were the Google Maps big back in 2014? Was everyone plugging their phones in to get directions to go places, or were you relying upon whether or not your car had it?
No, I think it was the car. I think that I mean, that's interesting. I don't know when Google Maps started.
There became a point. Now, I only use, like for a long time, I didn't use my phone. Now I only use my phone for directions because it hooks up to my system. I hit the little button. I say, directions to blah, 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 blah. And then it plugs it in. I don't know if it's Apple Maps or Google Maps. I don't know which one it goes to automatically, but that's how I do my directions now. I used to, punch in the address in my car. I did that for a while.
It kind of dumbs people down to the point where, you wonder, how did we used to get to destinations back in the day of gas station maps and stuff like that?
Well, I was a reporter I moved to Orlando. I knew nothing about Orlando, and I was out every day going to different locations. And I had one of those map books where you turn the pages. I forgot what you call it, but that's how I would get from point A to point B.
You know what I also found out back in those days? I drove a limo for a recording studio, picking up the talent and stuff like that. What I found out, I was very young. You could call the police station. I never knew this. I thought they had busier things to do. You could actually call the Watchung, New Jersey police and say, where is 1217 Smithview Road? And they will, back in the day, they would take time to give you directions. These days, it'd probably tell you to, use your phone and hang up.
Yeah. Well, back in the old days, you used to stop at the gas station, right? You would stop at the gas station and ask them for directions. Like, those people must have been so annoyed by the public. Okay, go down this way. But
that's why I kept
Where were we in 2014? Where were we in 2014?
2014?
I'm guessing it was the early days.
All right. Because my crack staff, once again, has thrown me some information. Google Maps was first released on mobile phones in November of 2007. It then was launched in the Android in September of 2008 and for iOS in December 2012.
All right, so it's early on. Like you may or may not be automatically plugging in an address. You may just be going like old school, right? So I'm not necessarily buying it. I'm not buying it.
December 2012 was the first time they offered turn-by-turn navigation as an alternative to built-in maps. So 2012.
Early. And it depends on what car you have. I don't know what kind of car she had, if she had a new one, an older one. So, all right. So I think back then she may not have automatically, like we do, if you're going someplace you don't know and you just want the quickest way to get there, you just say directions to blah, 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 blah. Like Jonesy, you can't do that in your Blues Brothers mobile, though, can you?
No, it doesn't come equipped with a GPS. They also sold like in the early days of the GPS, they would sell like standalone units that people would buy.
Yep.
Not realizing that they could just use their phones.
I've driven with Jonesy, and he actually, Vinny, has an astrolabe and a sextant that he uses to plot how he drives. He uses the sun and the stars, and he moves forward on that. It's very, very impressive. It's a nice setup that he has in there. And Rand McNally is generally his co-pilot. So
when we did take that trip there, Al, it was your son who taught me that the GPS devices will take, like if you're going to a stadium, which we were, and there's a lot of people going there, the GPS devices will route people differently so as to not create their own jam. Like I never realized that, but I needed a younger person to explain that to me because like that's how it is with technology.
So same people could be on the same technology at the same place and
get different routes,
2 different ways.
Yeah, several different ways.
Fascinating. Alba 50. Thank you very much. Sending hugs from Scotland. We're coming from all over this morning. Look at this.
Very nice.
Wow.
So
My people were from Scotland.
Indeed.
My Aunt May was born in Scotland. My mom may have been conceived in Scotland, but born in Newark.
That's interesting. Arlene Fisher was watching on Facebook today. Hello from North Carolina. Before Google Map days on smartphones, I just print out directions, take a hard copy with me in my car. Yeah, that's when we were like, oh my goodness, you can get directions on your computer. So you go on your computer, you plug it in, you print it out, and you bring it in the car.
Yes. I still
antiquated, but it was a huge deal.
Yes.
I did that. I did that as recently as a couple of years ago,
MapQuest.
Then, inevitably, like I'm driving and I'm looking down. Like I did that when we met up for your birthday off of the turnpike there.
Jonesy's middle name is Magellan. Just remember that, folks.
Magellan. Carolyn AHH, watching you handsome devils while baking for cakes, a chocolate and then a vanilla for a bowling birthday party for my grandson and granddaughter. I put in toonies for each year.
I don't like to brag, Vin, but I was captain of the Don Bosco bowling team.
Oh, here we go.
And we won state championship. We were the Don Bosco Pinbusters. State championship senior year, captain of the team, got a very, very sexy white satin jacket with a giant pin on the back. And you really score with the babe.
Hey, you say white satin jacket?
Yes, a white satin jacket with the Don Bosco Pinbusters and a pin on the back. And I don't have to tell you, ladies, that when you saw a guy walking down Paramus Park, wearing a jacket like that, it just melted your hearts. You just wanted to be with that guy. That's why I never wore it, ever.
Ashley Bouchard, part of the Mod Squad, trying to make us feel old. I remember my parents printing MapQuest.
Yes. My parents used to listen to you, Jonesy. I get that sometimes.
Yeah,
I was raised listening to you. My parents had you on all the time.
My parents were printing out directions on papyrus. That's how long ago that was.
Of course, Ashley Bouchard, part of the world famous Mod Squad.
The Mod Squad, keeping order in the chat. The Mod Squad, the Mod Squad, spotting trolls who attack. The Mod Squad, oh, Gen X is ready and on the scene. Frankie Biggs making sure they're keeping it clean. And Jennifer Sube telling haters don't be so mean. And Ashley Bouchard on top of our Facebook screen. We are the Mod Squad, cleaning up the mess. The Mod Squad, the Mod Squad, simply the best. The Mod Squad, the Mod Squad.
And, you talk about Thanksgiving. How thankful are we for the Mod Squad?
They're
Wonderfully
wonderful.
so. Wonderfully so.
Yes. Jody Saka, good morning from Ocala, Florida. All right, boys. What is Ocala, Florida famous for?
Let's see. It's a place I've never been to.
I've been there. John Travolta. That's where he lands his jumbo jet.
Oh, that's where he has his airport at his home.
Yes, in Ocala, because it's relatively close to the world headquarters of the Church of Scientology.
Oh, is that the world headquarters in Florida?
Down in Clearwater. Oh, yeah, Clearwater. Yeah,
Wow.
that's
I
the
didn't
big
know that.
headquarters. Yeah,
I
they
would think
basically bought up the whole downtown.
No, but very nice. I delivered a newspaper to his house, and his sister was my babysitter.
Yes, that's why I brought it all up. And by the way, Ocala also very close to where I think we'll all end up someday, the Villages.
As the village people.
The Villages. We could be the village people. Like it's the most fun place in the world to retire to. It's a nonstop party down there.
That sounds like something out of like Westworld. You know,
No, it's amazing. Have you seen the documentary?
No, I have not.
It's a
I don't wanna
great
think about
documentary
that.
on it. No, it's a lot of fun.
Is that the place where all the elderly sleep with one another?
The single ones probably
because there's
do,
nothing
but
else
not
to
the
do?
married ones.
Well, it could be a swingers set.
Here, look at this, Sally Vella, geriatric Vegas. I've heard a lot about the Villages, says KCPB.
You know, it's fun to make fun of the elderly until you become one.
Right.
Amen
Like
to
these
that.
are no. I found it invigorating to see that these folks are out there dancing and singing and partying and having fun every day. Why not? Why wouldn't you?
Well,
Instead of just sitting in your house, you screaming at the TV.
But the Villages sounds like something like, out of like, The Walking Dead. We're heading to the Villages. That's where we can be survived. And it sounds like one of those type of places. Just kind of weird.
No, it's amazing. Gen X describes. Someone told me the single section of the Villages was like an old people's Melrose Place. A lot of
I've heard that.
drama.
Oh, great. Well, then I guess maybe I have to take a ride down there and scope it out for everyone. What do we do?
All the elderly in New Jersey moved to like Lakewood and Tom's River.
I'm waiting for our first trial out of the Villages. That's what I'm waiting for. Because we haven't had one yet. Sooner or later, there's going to be a love triangle that goes wrong.
A red rum in the Villages?
That'll rival the blind guy who was online to see a movie who shot like the other guy in an argument over a space
Seymour
online.
Schuss. You're talking about Seymour Schuss.
Yes.
The blind man who was going to the movies.
That was kind of like an old person trial, in that regard.
Gringo wants to know what's the STD situation in the Villages.
Well, that's what I had heard that it's rampant.
Yeah, well,
maybe not in the Villages, but there was this one senior's place that.
No, it was the Villages. It was the
Villages.
Villages.
Okay. You seem to have researched this place quite well.
Yeah, everything down there.
I told you, I'm waiting for the first trial because it's Florida, so we'll be in the courtroom.
Yeah.
We'll see and hear everything, and then we'll have to go down and do it live from the Villages, because everyone in the Villages would then watch the trial because they're right in the. Oh, it would be the biggest event ever. We could do a town hall in the town square of the Villages, bring in a mock jury. Oh,
is it anywhere near? Is it anywhere near the third edition of Del Boca Vista?
The book. So who is this? Fiona Hewson, 2140. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Fiona.
Yeah.
Fiona's a nice name. I like that name.
Fiona
Fiona was one of the characters on that show. What was the name of it? She was the main character. Takes place in the south side of Chicago.
Baddest part of town.
Yeah.
You go down there, you better just beware of a guy named Leroy Brown.
Oh, yes, this is it. Sally has it already. This week on Court TV, it's the golf cart Red Rums.
The police chase will be remarkable in that one.
Yeah, and the show is Shameless. Shameless is the show. There we go. I got it.
Shameless. I never heard.
Oh
of
no, that's a funny show. Dark comedy. Love it. Love it.
Never
All right.
heard of it.
So here, let's see if we can wrap up this leftover of Wendi Adelson. So I believe, and we've heard rumors, and this is like I think the third time, and it's just recently the rumors at the grand jury's meeting. I believe this prosecutor will go forward. I believe this prosecutor should go forward, and you just try the case. Like we all believe there's enough evidence, and put it in front of a jury. If they don't buy it, they don't buy it. That's fine. There should be no shame. But if you as the prosecutor believe, based on everything you know, that this woman was part of this conspiracy, she needs to be indicted. She needs to be tried sooner rather than later. I believe there is enough evidence. I believe they should, and I believe that they will. I think they needed her or wanted her for all the prior trials, which is why she got that immunity for her testimony. Anything she said could not be used against her, and you could not use what she said to try to get other evidence against her.
I'll tell you, I think every day it gets harder and harder, and that immunity agreement is going to be very difficult to dissect. So, I mean, it's going to be very difficult at this stage of the game as we go further down the line to be able to get something on her. They may do
I think they have it already.
I don't think they have it already because
You got the ex-boyfriend. You got the testimony of the ex-boyfriend. You've got the conversations. You've got the notes regarding the license plate and the schedule of Danny. You've got these weird calls to the ex-boyfriend asking about his route that he was going to take because the plan was, a lot of people believe the plan was to set up her ex-boyfriend to take the fall because he had a car similar to the hitman's car and was supposed to be driving past a certain route, which was similar to the route that the Red Rummers would have taken. So I think he was supposed to go down. I think this prosecutor is very good. I think this prosecutor also knows that they have great jurors in Leon County, and they're going to do fine. You put this case in front of a jury down there, they're going to put the pieces together. They'll put the pieces together.
I will tell you this, Vin. I had for the first time, whether in a case on a aggravated essay allegation, that I actually put my client up in front of the grand jury.
Oh,
In the grand, and you're not allowed to go in there.
I wasn't allowed to go in there, but my client was a doctor, and I believed he was wrongly accused. And I spoke with the prosecutor about it in Bergen County, and the prosecutor said to me, "Listen, we're going to convene the grand jury. I could read the statement that your client wrote with regards to his medical practice and the licensing board and everything else. But I think it might be better if your client came in and testified. I have never done this with the exception of police officers because they have to testify with regards to certain things. In certain counties in New Jersey, if you get arrested, they file charges against the cop. So they try to make it a difficult thing on the grand jury. But so I had my client testify in front of the grand jury, first time ever. And next day, no bill.
No bill.
No bill, and charges dismissed and expunged. So,
wow.
It's
no bill means they did not go forward with the indictment. They said no. They voted against it.
They voted right. No bill means that. Correct. So maybe history is on her side on this. Maybe she gets in front of the grand jury.
Jody Saka, Ocala is where Sarah Boone and Donna Adelson are currently located. So that's where you know what? That's true because on one of the episodes, thank you, Jody. One of the episodes, and this is one of the times I went to Ocala. One of the episodes of Accomplice that I filmed, I did a stand-up outside the women's prison because we were covering a case involving a woman who was inside that prison.
So what, like a stand-up, you said, so like two guys walk into a female prison. And
I've been stood up outside of a woman's prison.
No, it's where I stand and I tell part of the story to the viewers. Wise guys.
That's a great one. Jonesy, that was the best.
Al, one of my favorite things is getting guys like yourself, comedians, to respond by laughing at something I say. I have always enjoyed that secretly and not really said anything about it. But that was a good one. Thank you for that laughter.
I will tell you that was a classic.
There's nothing like making the funny man laugh.
Believe me, that is the true way of knowing whether something is indeed funny.
All right. And don't forget, folks, before the Christmas extravaganza, you have an opportunity to participate in the program and try to win some of the great prizes ahead of time. One is by entering one of the contests that we have, the Ugly Sweater Competition.
Send a photo of your sweater to the moss, old or new. The winner gets a prize during Tangent Christmas Extravaganza 25. Old or new, send it to the moss. Send it to the moss. Tangent Ugly Sweater Contest. Tangent Ugly Sweater Contest. Send it to the moss.
All right.
All right. Ben, you know what? I got to tell you. So we're not allowed to participate in the contest, right? We're not allowed to send in our ugly sweater or anything along those lines.
Well, yeah, but you'd have to donate your prize to a local charity.
Okay, but can I have? But we can dress in an ugly sweater for the show, correct?
What happened to our background? It disappeared. Look at that. Do 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 do. I'm telling you, everything's acting funny here today.
Maybe this is time to maybe do a little history thing quick.
Well, I got to fix this first, right?
Okay. Because I got something that was brought up earlier that is going to be very interesting with regards to Jonesy.
Civil War to civil rights and all the revolution fights. World War I and World War II. Well, always knows who is who. It's this day in history. This day in history. History. Now let's listen to his story.
Start with Rev War history. I hope all of you watched the Ken Burns special. It was wonderful. On this day in and today is the 28th of November. On this day in 1775, the Continental Congress authorized the creation of the American Navy. So we are celebrating the 250th anniversary of the Navy, 250th anniversary of the Army. They will be playing at the Army-Navy game. The uniforms are going to reflect that. So that game is on December 13th in Baltimore. So that's what happened in Rev War. True crime history, 1933, a Dallas grand jury sends up a red rum indictment against Bonnie and Clyde, okay, for the red rum of a deputy sheriff previously in
Question.
Dallas. Yes.
What was their last name and were they married? Do we know that?
They were not married.
Clyde Barrow
and Bonnie Parker.
Bonnie Parker. Okay, they weren't married though.
They were not married. No, they were not married.
Interesting.
In 1940,
Scandalous, right?
I'm sorry?
Scandalous, right? Not only did they do all those things, but they weren't married.
I believe that Bonnie was married, but not to Clyde. I believe that she had left her husband. 1942, the D-pen of Tony Joe Henry, okay, by electric chair, is the only woman in Louisiana to ever be D-penned by an electric chair. After she was convicted of robbing and red rumming a Joseph Calloway as part of a plot to break her husband out of prison. She was 26 years of age. And the case made a lot of national headlines because she happened to be exceedingly attractive. And so people took a very big interest in this case. And then she was ultimately red rummed. And on this day in 1994, we said goodbye to Jeffrey Dahmer, who was beaten to death by a fellow inmate, Christopher Scarver, while cleaning duty detail in the gym bathroom of the Columbia Correctional Institute in Portal, Wisconsin. Scarver was serving his own life sentence for red rum, and he also red rummed another inmate, Jesse Anderson, during the same incident. That was in 1994. Okay, 1905, Arthur Griffiths launches the Sinn Féin Irish Party, which becomes very instrumental in what is called the Troubles later on as we go down the line. In 1925, the debut of the Grand Ole Opry in good old Nashville, Tennessee.
Ah, yes.
1940.
And if you go to the Grand Ole Opry, you got to go during the off season when they do it in the Ryman.
When they do the what? I'm sorry?
When they do it in the Ryman Theater, which
That's
is the original theater.
original
Now
theater,
now
correct.
they do it where CrimeCon was in the big
The Gaylord.
the Gaylord, the big convention place. But what was really nice about the Ryman is that when we went there and we sat in the front row, me, my brother, and my father, and we all bought matching black cowboy outfits and black cowboy hats. And we all
Nice.
took our hats off for the show and put them right up on the stage.
Oh,
And the artists all took note of it. What was also nice about the Ryman is that's from the Burt Reynolds movie, WW and the Dixie Dance Kings. That was in the Ryman. And we went into the back alley where he had the big fight or whatever. So
Did the
that
person, I'm sorry, did the performers say, is that a 10-gallon hat or you're just enjoying the show?
did
Yeah.
any of the performers seem annoyed by that? Because the
No,
stage,
no,
the
they
stage
liked it.
is sacred.
No, we were front row center, so they knew that we purchased the tickets way ahead of time. And when we were walking around town with the outfits on, people, like, if we did that in New Jersey, people like, what are you doing, right? But you walk around Nashville like that, what do you think they said to us?
What are you doing?
No. Where are you boys playing?
Oh, cool.
The good old boys.
No, it was fun. That was a great trip. Anyhow, sorry, Al, back to the
Not a problem at all. That was a very nice little interlude. 1942, the Coconut Grove fire in Boston. 492 fatalities. This was a very famous nightclub in Boston that was under mob supervision and had been paying off the fire marshal as well as the mayor of Boston so that they didn't have to pay attention to those pesky fire, exits and things along those lines. And there was a terrible fire that happened as a result of an accident by one of the underage busboys that was working there. And the fire escapes had been all shut and locked because the owner of the place was afraid people would run out without paying their bill. So he had done that. There was only one way to get out, which was a revolving door that ended up becoming greatly crowded and then was unable to be moved. And 492 people were lost their lives as a result of this.
Brutal.
The owner was brought up on manslaughter charges, and it was they picked 19 individuals out of the 492, and they convicted him, but he only served 19 months because the mayor of Boston now was the governor of Massachusetts, and he pardoned him. Okay, he died shortly thereafter as a result of cancer. In 1943, the Tehran Conference by the Big Three, Roosevelt, Churchill, and Stalin, 4 days to talk about how they were going to beat Nazi Germany in World War II. 1974, John Lennon's last concert appearance with Elton John as a guest at Madison Square Garden. Played 3 songs, okay? Whatever Gets You Through the Night, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, and I Saw Her Standing There. And finally, as a little tip to what was mentioned about Jonesy earlier in the Bluesmobile, 1978, Briefcase Full of Blues was released. That was the Blues Brothers album that shot up the charts and made history for a made-up group that ended up becoming a made-up group with some of the most incredible jazz and blues musicians ever assembled, and great movie and everything down the line. But the album shut up the charts. It was actually #1 in the country. It was released.
Nat Guitar Murphy.
Donald Duck Dunn. Okay, you had you name it from the musician standpoint. Paul Schaefer.
Yeah.
Were just incredible. Matt Murphy, Guitar Murphy, as you said, was a legendary, and Lou Marini, Blue Lou Marini, just unbelievable, musicians. But that album came out on this day, and that is our day in history, 11/28. Thank you.
Time to get happy. It's time to get funky. It's time for us to smile. 'Cause here comes Max Spunky.
And happy Thanksgiving to McSpunky in the house.
Gonna get funky like a monkey.
Vinny
with
Al
McSpunky.
Jonesy, mods and y'all. There he is. He's got some brewskis for everybody. Thank you, McSpunky. All right. We got a great chat going on. So let's get to our other leftover we can heat up here. JennSoto,
Yes.
the mother of Madeline Soto. We know that Stephen Stearns is gone. He got a deal. He's gone for life, so he's irrelevant. But let's talk about JennSoto. And I want to play this one JennSoto moment, which I think is, which to me is, okay, let me play it first and then we'll talk about it, okay? Again, JennSoto, the mother of Madeline Soto, who was reported missing. Turns out it was Jen's on-again, off-again boyfriend who was essaying her, taking pictures of her, videos of her, and then ultimately red rumming her and leaving her on the side of the road down in Central Florida. Here's what JennSoto said in part of one of her many interviews.
Told him that my biggest fear is that this would turn into a Woody Allen situation where the stepdaughter or the dad grooms the child and the child then turns 18 and ends up running away with him. I told him like that was my biggest fear and I don't ever want that happening. Like, you can't do that to me. Like,
why would you say that to him?
Okay. That goes down as the most bizarre exchange and statement in any case that I mean, like, she had this fear that her family unit on the bottom right, where she was, I guess, dating Stephen Stearns, that her fear was that her daughter would be groomed, and then when her daughter turned 18, would steal her man. That was her greatest fear.
Yeah, that is without a doubt one of the most ridiculous I mean, she should have been convicted just on that comment alone. Okay, of just stupidity beyond belief. I mean, how do you say something along those? But you're facilitating it by letting them sleep together.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just so bizarre to me. And like, the fear of Woody Allen. I mean, in and of itself, it's just like, my name is Woody Allen. I don't scare anyone. I mean, it's like, how could you have that type of like, who puts that in a statement you're going to tell the police? Just ridiculous. Absolutely.
Jonesy, your thoughts of that statement? To me, I still can't get over it.
Well, I mean, she's saying you can't do that to me. There's no concern about anybody else in the situation. You're doing it to me. You're not doing it to her. That's pretty bad in itself. But it's entertaining that you brought up Woody Allen.
Well, let's play one more time.
I don't think of death as an end, Vinny. I just think of it as a way to cut down on expenses.
this would turn into a Woody Allen situation where I told him that my biggest fear is that this would turn into a Woody Allen situation where the stepdaughter or the dad grooms the child and the child then turns 18 and ends up running away with him. I told him like that was my biggest fear and I don't ever want that happening. Like, you can't do that to me. Like,
why would you say that to him?
I plan to run away with her and have 3 kids, one of each.
So she's not been charged. She's
No.
never going to be charged with anything. I mean, this. Let's start here. Like, what do you think? Because she has like a sister and a mother also in Central Florida. I don't know what the dad's situation is, but she has family. What do you think Thanksgiving was like for that family?
Better than mine.
You're killing me today. You're killing me today.
Joe's on the roll.
He is on a roll today. But let's look at it from the standpoint of that how this woman is not being charged is probably such an affront to the justice system.
What are you charging her with?
Child endangerment.
All right, let me put the law up on the stage here. Not conspiracy, right?
No, I wouldn't have her on conspiracy. I'd have her on child endangerment.
Let me see if I've got endangerment here. Let me change the screen so I can actually see what we're putting up here. Accessory after this is all has to do with the red rum. Here we go. Abuse charges. Okay. Let's see what the law says for abuse charges. Oh, sorry. Wait for it. Wait for it.
All right.
Does any of this fit?
Definitions and using section. Aggravated child abuse occurs when a person commits aggravated battery on a child, willfully tortures, maliciously punishes, or willfully and unlawfully cages a child, or knowingly or willfully abuses a child, and doing so creates great bodily harm. Yes, absolutely. Jay.
Which one?
Jay.
Jay.
Knowingly, well, 3. I'm sorry.
But now cover your right eye and tell us what you see.
I threw the Woody Allen glasses on and screwed up my eyes. Knowingly or willfully abuses a child, and in doing so causes great bodily harm, permanent. And I'm assuming that.
Okay, so what's how did she knowingly and willfully? So you're saying she knew what was happening to her? How do we prove that?
Because you put her into a scenario where she is sleeping with a man who has got a past history.
Wait. What past history?
Well, I mean, the scenario with him, I thought that there was something that had happened in his past that he had been looked at previously. Nothing?
No. He has no history.
Okay, well then guess what? The fact that there was on the camera that was there and they knew or should have known.
Well, she did not. Well, she's not. She does not appear in any of the pictures, just so you know. And everything that law enforcement has told us about the pictures and video, there is no indication that there was a third person either filming or there at the time.
Well, she's still putting this child in bed with someone who has a predilection.
What's a predilection? What's a predilection
for essay of a small child?
Where does that come from? Where's the evidence of that come from? That he was
from him.
From him. What do you mean?
His plea of guilty as to the essay, okay,
right,
in of itself.
But how did she knowingly know? How did she know that? Because knowingly is part of it, right?
Because the comment that was made about the Woody Allen situation demonstrates to me that there was a natural infection going on between him and her that led her to believe that there was something more here than just, two.
So the evidence is the statement.
That would be my starting point, my jumping off point on this. Look, I'm not saying it's necessarily going to convict her, but you definitely need to do something to avenge the death of that child. I mean, there has to be something done. She was there. She had a duty to protect her child, okay? And there was abuse of the child. And the fact that the child ended up in a ditch the way that the child did is enough to say to me that she didn't do her job as a parent.
Right. But is it knowingly willful? Let me see what else the law says here. See what else we have, if we do have something else. Okay, here we go. This might help also. A caregiver's failure or omission to provide a child with the care, supervision, and services necessary to maintain the child's physical and mental health, included but not limited to food, nutrition, clothing, shelter, supervision, medicine, medical services.
Yeah, or exploitation by another person. Failure to make reasonable effort.
Now,
to
this is a caregiver's failure to make a reasonable effort to protect the child from abuse, neglect, or exploitation. That, to me, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
But what is that? I mean, I got to imagine that it's probably not probably what, a class 4 felony or something along those lines. And
Yeah, but it's something.
it's something. Look, something's got to be done on this. I mean, this is what this woman allowed to have happen is just abhorrent.
Yeah.
And to this poor child, this poor innocent child who has been brutally red rummed, okay, but also essayed and everything else. As a mother, okay, she deserves no mercy whatsoever. She should be prosecuted to the full.
Well, looking at the way this would play out, right? I think if you charge her with number 2, you get it in front of a jury, no jury lets her go. No jury's going to let her go, right? To me, but can you get it in front of a jury? Do you get it past the judge? And would it hold up in front of an appellate court that the reasonable effort to protect the child includes not putting your child in a bed with someone who is sort of fulfilling the role unofficially as a stepdad?
I think that you could probably get that past a judge. I think you could get it to a jury. But the interesting thing I'm seeing on this is that I think that if it does survive the motion at the end of state's case, because in cases like this, what ends up happening is the defense will make a motion that the state has not put forth a prima facie case, and therefore, as a matter of law, they have to have the charges dismissed, and they would be dismissed by a judge. This would survive that, and then the interesting point was whether or not she'd have to testify, whether or not you'd have to put her on the stand to be able to
defend herself.
Right. And
Well,
that's
maybe
what I think was interesting.
Or is the charge so low that you don't want to put her on the stand because it might implicate her into something else more serious?
I think I'd have a hard time. I mean, if the allegations are there and they play those tapes and they play those things along those lines, I think a jury's going to say to themselves, well, she has to explain that. She needs to explain what she meant by that. Well, why was she thinking that? Okay, so, you don't come up with the Woody Allen. I mean, that's probably the most bizarre analogy that a person could bring up under any circumstances. The Woody Allen defense on this. And I would want to know, if I'm a juror, why she said that. What did she see that led her to believe that?
All right. We've got this from Ashley. Is talking about and now we're going to talk about lady things. Jonesy, are you ready?
Always ready.
Okay. Pregnancy tests in the house. So she's got pregnancy tests in the house. She is also on record saying that she was not engaging in those types of behaviors with Stefan at that time. But I guess the age of the pregnancy tests would be important there, right?
Yeah. Yes.
They could be. I don't know. Do they expire? I don't know.
Everything expires.
Everything expires.
Even if it does, it still works. It still has everything. It still has an expiration date on it.
Okay.
I mean, I used to carry pregnancy tests around in my front pocket.
Mom doing cycle tracking. Okay. Do you guys do you track your daughter's cycle? Al?
Only the Schwinn.
So is that normal for and I'll be honest, I cannot speak to this because I was not I'd have to bring in an expert. I have to swear him in, but I was not a cycle tracker, but I was kind of out of that loop. That's not my wheelhouse. So
I'd never even thought about it, quite candidly.
Right. But do moms, and this might be good for the folks to chat about, do moms generally track the cycle of their daughters when they're at that age where they are like turning the page into reproductive.
In all seriousness, for me as a single guy, this is like mind-boggling. Like the thought of it, even like
tracking it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have kids, and just like wow, I never even like considered the idea that a parent.
And why do you track? Do you track for health reasons, or do you track because you think she might be pregnant?
No, I think you track for health reasons. I think I remember that scene in the movie Carrie. Okay, when she she ends up having her period, she doesn't know what's going on, and she's panicking in the shower.
Right.
And they, that her mother had never explained to her about any of those things, and she didn't pay attention, I guess, in health class. And
wasn't she a senior? Like, isn't that kind of late?
Well, yeah, but she was also being somewhat abused by her mother, who was was mentally ill. But so they had that thing, and I would say to myself, wow, so you'd want your daughter to be aware of what's going on and that this can happen. So this way here you can prepare, and so that you don't have that embarrassment of a situation where you don't know what's happening and you just think you're bleeding to death.
Right. So you want to be prepared.
This has gotten even more absurd. It started with like the Woody Allen connection, and now there's a Carrie connection.
Exactly.
But I mean, I think I'm,
Thank you, April Diaz. Have a great day today. Thank you, April Diaz. We appreciate everything you say. We all know she's a great fan, and we know the kind words she has. We always love to hear from you. Thank you, April Diaz.
All right, a big thank you to April Diaz, and a happy Thanksgiving to my sweethearts. Hope Thanksgiving was good to you all. Yes, it was. Thank you, April Diaz.
Happy Thanksgiving there, April Diaz.
Happy Thanksgiving. Anytime April chimes in and people hear the song, they're like, how do I get a song?
What?
How do I get a song? How do I get my own song? Well, one way you can get your own song is if you enter one of the great competitions in the Christmas extravaganza.
We're gonna crown the Tanganista of the year. It could be a man, it could be a lady, but whoever it is, they got to be the greatest. The Tanganista of the year. The Tanganista of the year. The Tanganista of the year.
All right, folks, you can nominate yourself. You can nominate someone else, man, woman, child. It doesn't matter. Just send a video, 60 seconds or less. It can be 3 seconds. Maybe you can convince us in 2 seconds of who the Tanganista of the year should be. But send that video to vinny'smods@gmail. And one of the prizes, one of the honors that the Tanganista of the year will carry with them is their own theme song.
Ooh. That's pretty cool.
Imagine that. Hearing your own theme song. Huh? That's
Not
huge.
a lot of people can say that they have their own theme song.
Exactly. So the Tanganista of the year will get one. So good luck. Send those in. Ugly sweater competition, Tanganista of the year, and then all night long we'll have tons of trivia where you have opportunities to win some great prizes. But if you want that song, you got to enter that one. That's a huge one.
Vin, can I throw this out there that one of the things we're going to be doing is the airing of the grievances, correct?
Wait. Let's just finish on this. Can we finish on this?
All right.
Because Fancy Nancy 22, what does a video have to be about? Well, this is the beauty of it. There's no real format for it. You are making a pitch, kind of like an elevator pitch for someone, and it very well can be yourself, on why you should be Tanganista of the year.
Right. positivity.
Yeah. Well, and the reasons the reasons, we don't. You make the pitch. You can be as creative or as least creative as you want to be. It doesn't matter. You just have to. You want to touch a nerve with us. You want to touch a nerve with the judges, and you want them to understand this. And basically, the impact you want is you watch that video and you're like, there it is. That's the Tangenista of the year.
Yeah.
And it could be you. You can nominate yourself. Please don't be shy. But also you can nominate someone else. And you don't need their permission to do it. You can just nominate them. And just explain. Somehow the video explains. And the video, again, can be as short or as tiny as you want, or it can be up to 60 seconds. So just make the pitch.
Ain't too proud to beg.
Right. You could beg. Please.
Well, I was going to bring up about the fact that we're doing one of the things was the airing of the grievances. So, folks, start now jotting down what your grievances are with regards to same, because we're going to be talking about that. And we want to we're going to want some interplay, and we're going to want to hear from you folks as to what your grievances are. I'm on grievance number 943.
Yeah, but Al, I'm putting a time limit on your own personal airing of the grievances. It's going to be 2 minutes or less. You've got to air your grievances in less than 2 minutes.
2 minutes left. I'm going to have to do a little.
So it's like Excedrin headache number 72.
Look at this. Sally Vella, you should have a call-in show one time to talk to your fans. Topeka, Kansas, you're on.
Round the corner and up your block.
What?
Yeah, I have to research the technology for that. Then we're going to need, Jonesy, one of those famous call screeners.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's pretty exciting.
Or we just put them on regardless.
Boop. That was the beauty of the Larry King overnight show. Larry King would just the call screener would say, "Where are you from?"
And that was it.
Then Larry King would say, "Kearney, New Jersey, you're on the air." I once called. Larry King was a big race fan. I once called and played the Secretariat winning the Belmont Stakes, the entire race call. He let the whole thing play, and he responded by saying, "What a horse." But the unscreened phone call is often very cool.
Well, do you have that in your show, Jonesy?
I don't take calls anymore on the air. I did a talk show on Sirius where it was nothing but calls, but I don't really do that on my other programs.
Interesting. Well, there's different ways we can do it. We can actually, a lot of people don't like their faces on, which is interesting. But I was looking at what I could do is put up a barcode on the screen. You hit the barcode and it puts you into the green room, directly. Kind of dangerous, right? Kind of risky. What's going to happen? Who's coming in? But maybe we'll try that once. I may try it out on my own once before I subject you guys to it to see how it works. But there's with our program that we use here to get on the air, they have a new function where you can put barcodes up, and one of the barcodes you can put up is the link to get in and on the show. But what I found in the past is that people be much more likely to speak with their voice rather than put their face on.
Makes sense. We could practice that barcode thing then between the three of us. Actually, you can put that up, and then we can try to call in on that. Interesting. But that would be nice to be able to chat with everyone. That's why CrimeCon.
Yeah, but you get Al chatting, and then we get a 5-hour show.
No, that's true. Well, you're limiting me to 2 minutes on my grievance. I'm on grievances. Now I have to start editing. Look at this. I'm off. Now all the grievances.
Now to clarify, the grievances are with one another?
No.
Grievances in general.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a grievance within one another, where we were going to attack each other or something.
No. Heavens to gimbals, no. We don't have. There's no grievances.
So it can be anything. Ah, that's good. See, I didn't even know that.
It's just imagine being Andy Rooney for like 2 minutes.
I love Danny Rooney. I miss
That's
him.
what it is. That's the segment.
You know, his obituary, I looked it up recently. His New York Times obituary used a disparaging word like curmudgeonly or something like that, which really in the headline, which really bothered me because that was like, you know, his funny like 60-second thing.
No, that's who he was. And I'll tell you how I know.
Really?
Yes. So we're picture this, Jonesy. We're at the 2000 Democrat convention. I'm covering it. And I'm there with a colleague. And this colleague, in the other direction, we see walking towards us Andy Rooney. And he's like, oh, my God, it's my favorite guy. And as Andy Rooney's walking past, he goes, Mr. Rooney, you know, you're the inspiration for me getting into this business. Can I take a picture with you? And Andy Rooney turns to him and goes, how unprofessional is that?
Wow.
And he walks away. And that's what you want, though. Like, if you meet it, that's what you would want, right? That's
A
the
moment.
Andy Rooney moment.
That happened with me and Howard Cosell.
Same thing?
Oh, it was horrible. They had this thing back. WABC had a thing where they would have a high school, and it would be the high school of the week, and that they would have the students come in and act as on air personalities on everything. So it was really cool. And so I was on, and nobody else wanted to do it, so I was on for the full week. And I remember George Michael, the sports guy, not the guy from Wham, but
also the music radio DJ. He did both.
At that time, he was a music radio guy on WABC.
George Michael.
Right. And so he said to me, he goes, when you see Howard Cosell, if he doesn't have his toupee on, do not say hello to him. And I was like, well, why not? He goes, he doesn't like to talk to people when he doesn't have his toupee on, and he will be very nasty. So now pretty charming guy. So I'm in the elevator with him going up into the studios, and he didn't have his toupee on. I said, Mr. Cosell, I watch you all the time. I such a privilege to get a chance to meet you. And he just looked at me and just went, F you, like that, and got off the elevator.
Wow.
That's great.
Wow. Why would he even be seen without a toupee? I would think
because it's radio. He wasn't being yeah,
but it's like Neil Mascaras. No one ever saw Neil Mascaras's face.
I mean, I remember, we would wear sweats to go into the studios. I mean, like nobody wears, gets dressed up, and he was and putting on his toupee apparently was a procedure. So he didn't do it, and he would be on the elevator, and he told me to go F myself.
Wow.
So, yeah. But that was my experience with Howard Cosell. And needless to say, he didn't sign my book.
Yeah.
All right. But George Michael did get me a signed book from him. So
picture this, Jonesy. Republican convention, 2000, Philadelphia. The media has to park in a certain lot, and then we have to take a little trolley to the main convention center. So we park, we get out, and we're waiting. And as we're waiting, I look who's waiting next to me. It's Tom Brokaw.
Wow.
Now, this is before we had cell phones with cameras, right? So but I had a camera. And I said, oh, Mr. Brokaw, blah, blah, blah. Can I take a picture? He said, sure. So I give the camera to my colleague. And then just before he snaps the picture, boop, put my arm right around him.
Well, did he have a problem?
He was not expecting that.
Really? I mean, I do that all the time when I take pictures with either like listeners or when I take a picture with a celebrity.
You're the celebrity, though. Here, he's like he's number one. He's the man, right? And yeah, sure, I'll take a picture. And he's standing there. Last minute, I go.
Well, even when I take pictures of myself with celebrities that I want to photograph with, there's usually like an arm around one another.
Interesting. Yeah, but Mr. Brokaw was a little more serious.
Serious, right?
I met Keanu Reeves at I was at the opening of the play The Producers, and I was at a urinal next to him. Okay, and I said that
with or without a splash guard.
Well, there was a splash guard, and I was at a urinal next to him, and I started talking to him. He started talking to me, and I said, "Listen, my date loves you. She would really love to get a picture." And so he's like, "Yeah, okay." So we washed our hands, we walked out, and then she's there and he's there. And I handed him the camera and I put my arm around her. And she just went, "You are such an AH," okay, like that. And he started cracking up. He thought that was hilarious. And he took the picture with both of us. So that's my little Keanu Reeves
Nice.
story.
Now he's the nicest guy in the world. Like
He was so nice. I mean, he was talking to me next to me in a urinal.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Of all the super A-list celebrities, I would say he's probably. I haven't heard about anyone who's better, like it just being like down to earth human being, but he's top notch. Because he grew up in Hawaii, right?
Matthew Modine is very much like that too. I mean, I don't know if he's necessarily in the A-list, but I mean, he's
not quite Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, you're probably right on that one.
I was at a urinal with John McEnroe once and had a conversation. I said, "Wow, where do I tell my friends I was peeing next to John McEnroe?"
And what did he say?
He said it's better than the other option, implying it's better than if he was in the stall.
Can Mr. McEnroe, do you have an extra square you can spare?
So I told the story. I told the story on the air on a music channel on Sirius that I was working at the time. And I was trying to play up how cool is this place? Like you can, meet John McEnroe in the hallways. And the PD wrote me an email that said, "We don't do frat humor here, Mr. Jones."
Keanu was born in Lebanon. How about that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I thought he
wasn't Tony Shalhoub also?
Was he? That was probably the old Lebanon. Hey, take a look here. Cheryl. Wait, let me see. Cheryl Slovic Herman Trout, 1911. Red Skeleton was the best.
Red Skeleton was very funny.
Wow, I used to watch Red Skeleton.
I was never a big fan of Red Skeleton. I never really understood him. I like those guys that were quote unquote clowns that I never was a big fan of. But that name is very, very interesting. That was up there. Herman Trout's from Better Call Saul, and
is that who that is?
Yeah, I think so. That was the name of his the hitman guy, the former police officer.
Right.
That was.
Yeah. Arlene Fisher, when Vinny's missing off court TV, I have Vinny withdrawals. Go figure. Never seen such a well-rounded person such as Vinny, who had a well-rounded perspective, one that's not bad on the eyes. Thank you, Arlene. Happy Thanksgiving. Gen X talking about the merch store, the Vinny Originality store, the Not Guilty hoodies. One side is not guilty, but this is one of the two-sided items. The other side, can you see it?
No. I see a chair.
Oh, all right. The other side says not innocent.
And we have
not
some new
in the front, not innocent in the back.
We have some new things up too, folks. So, keep an eye on it.
Yeah, the store's been cleaned up a little bit. I was going through the aisles and sweeping up a little bit. So the store is in much better shape. Check it out. All the stuff on there really does make a great Christmas gift.
Oh, and there's a Christmas shirt.
That's right. We do have the official extravaganza shirt. Let me. I'm going to try to dig that up in a second. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see.
Not that innocent.
No, it's not there. It's going to take a bit to find that.
Well,
it's going to take a bit.
Go on the site. Go on Vinny Originale and take a look. We've got some new stuff up there, and some new things are being developed every day. We've got our crack staff in the sweatshops of Taiwan trying to put things together for you.
All right. Oh, here I got something here I can play, I think.
Someone's appreciating
some true crime merch for the holiday season. Check out the Vinny Originale True Crime merch shop. We have hoodies, we've got hats, we've got mugs, we've got t-shirts, we've got beach towels. Check it all out. It's the Vinny Originale True Crime merch shop.
Hey everybody, I've got something for your body. For your body. You can wear it by yourself or with Frankie Valli. It's true crime merch from Vinny Originale. It's true crime merch. It's true crime merch. It's true crime merch from Vinny Originale. From Vinny Originale.
It's the Vinny Originale True Crime Merch Shop. Really does make a great Christmas gift.
Yeah, we went back old
I've been
school.
wanting to do that my whole life. That one line.
Old school.
Now I've done it. Yeah, some nice merch there. And again, yeah, it does make a great Christmas gift. Like, really, it does.
You don't have to convince me. I agree.
All right.
I'm easy.
So getting back to JennSoto, I think there always was enough for that one charge. They never did it. They didn't need her. Stephen Stearns pleaded guilty. So she never had to testify. And now I think they've just moved on. I think it's over. I think it's just it's gone. You know, the case is over. Nothing else will happen. And you know, I wonder what, you know, especially this time of year, the holidays. During the holidays, what is it like when you know something like that has happened to your child and you are the one responsible, at least at a minimum, for introducing that person into your child's life? And for her, I don't know. For her, I don't know exactly what her feelings were for her own daughter. And I think, Jonesy, you brought it up before when she was talking about the whole Woody Allen situation.
It's about her.
How, right? Like the Woody Allen's wrong way. Oops. The way the whole Woody Allen situation, like she was concerned about herself losing her man rather than her child being groomed for years and then being taken advantage of. So to me, she was off. There's something wrong with her, and her relationship with her daughter was broken. And I think that's part of the reason that her daughter's no longer around, because she didn't have that type of nurturing, protective gene that most mothers have, right? And she just didn't have it. And I think that was part of it. Criminally, I don't think I think there was that one low level offense, and that would have been it for her. But it's never going to happen because I think they've moved on. I think that case is like done and over at this point. Whereas the Adelsons, I think we're in a much different position. I think we're in a spot where something could happen and something will happen, hopefully in 2026. All right. What do you put the odds, Al, of Wendy ending up indicted?
I'm going to go with.
What's the percentage chance?
I think she's got about a 1/3, 33% chance of being indicted.
Oh, only 1 out of 3. So more likely that she does not get indicted.
That's exactly right.
So
Wow.
that means I have to bet $3 to win one?
No. You bet $1, you're going to win 3.
Yeah. Yep.
But the minimum bet is 2, so you'd win 6.
Well, it depends on which way you're betting. If I were betting on her being indicted, like I would have to bet $3 to win. I guess you're right. Yeah. Okay.
Vice versa there, Jonesy.
Okay, I got you. I'm usually excellent with odds. My dad took me to the racetrack when I was in 6th grade, and I would read the racing form in study class.
Aha. I think it's a 75% chance that she does.
Wow. Well, so we're almost
Almost
exactly opposed on this
Yeah,
one.
we'll see who's right by the end of 26. We'll reconvene.
Okay, that works.
Look at this. Look at this analysis by Kimberly. Soto isn't the brightest bulb in the tanning bed. One ain't bowling with a full set. Has anyone ever been to a tanning bed?
No. Yeah.
All right, first question, Al.
Yes.
Because I have 3 questions relative to this. Question 1.
Okay.
Why did you go to a tanning bed?
All right. It was at the Palisadium Health Spa. It was there. And I said, well, I might as well give it a shot. Okay. I mean, because like basically, you know, I'm like 3 steps just above albino with regard to my skin.
I
And
did
so
notice
maybe-
that. I did notice when you had your bathing suit on, your shorts on, that your legs were rather pale.
Yes.
when we
So
were together recently.
I figured that if I tried this, that maybe it would give me a base so that if I went out in the sun, I wouldn't stroke.
Okay.
So I tried that. It did not work. I didn't do it again.
Let me do my follow-up questions now.
Okay. Yes.
Question 2. How
No.
old were you when you did this?
I was in law school, so I had to be 20, 21, maybe 21,
Okay.
22.
Final question, the most important one.
Yes. I know what this one's going to be.
Were you full
Oh.
Montied? Were you
Oh,
full
now I know what
Montied
it's
in that
gonna be.
bed?
Was
Were you
I what?
full
I'm sorry?
Montied?
No,
Were
I
you
was
full-
not. I was not. I was wearing BVDs underneath.
Okay.
And I had the stupid little 2 spoons with the
Right.
little
This
hole in it.
Okay. Here's a question from Gringo. Would the state charge even if they're not super confident in conviction on principle alone?
No,
They shouldn't.
they should not.
But
They
it
should not.
well, here's the question. What does super confident in the conviction mean? Like, what is that? What does that mean?
Well, you have to believe that you have a for a prosecutor is not supposed to be throwing crap against the wall to see.
No. I'm not talking about
Nor
that.
should you do it out of principle, right?
Well,
No,
what's the principle? Is the principle I am personally convinced beyond a reasonable doubt that she did it. I have evidence that is inadmissible that demonstrates that she did it, so I know that she did it. I think there's more nuance to this question than you're kind of throwing out there. Like if you're a prosecutor and you have evidence that is inadmissible that you won't be able to use, that may not make you super confident in a conviction, but you know that she did it.
Can't
Do you
do
bring
that.
the case?
You
Yes,
can't
you
do
do.
that. You can't do that.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
If you have,
as a
if you-
prosecutor, if that was the situation, if the only way I could get this in was through evidence that I knew I was not going to be able to use.
No. The evidence that you can't use is evidence that makes it clear. Let's for instance, let's say there is a video of her on the phone or audio recording of her on the phone making admissions, right? Making clear admissions, no other explanation for it, but that phone call or that recording is inadmissible. But you have other evidence that, okay, this evidence definitely points to her. I'm not 1,000% convinced that a jury will convict on this, but they might, but I'm not confident, super confident. I'm not like overly confident like I am in most of my cases that they will convict, but I know I've got the right person. Would you charge then? I say yes, you have to. I think at that point you have an obligation to charge her because you know this is a guilty person. You know they did it. Now I'm going to try to prove it with the evidence I'm allowed to use.
That's a tough call. I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with you.
That's the closest I'll ever get Al to agreeing with me. I don't necessarily disagree with you.
I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I know that if I don't have a case that I'm confident in, as that is because you know what, juries sense that when you don't have a case that you're confident in, and juries know when you're basically bluffing, and I don't think that is.
You're not bluffing here because you know she did it.
Yeah, but
Because you
that's
have
not the
this
point, though.
inadmissible
I mean,
recording.
there's a lot of things I can know if I have to be able to prove. So, like, that's the point. The point is not knowing. The point is proving. That's what the prosecutor's job is supposed to be, to prove it, not to know it, to prove it. Okay. And I think that if I cannot go in 100% sure that I can prove this, then I'm doing a disservice to the oath that I took as a prosecutor.
I think you're wrong because the word here is super confident.
Well,
Super confident. It's like, oh, I got this one. There's no reasonable, there's no reasonable doubt anywhere. There's other cases you could try. Like, do you think that the Karen Reed folks were super confident?
Well, you know what? I wouldn't have taken. Look, you know what? If I'm not super confident, I'm not taking the case. I have to be confident in my evidence. I have to be confident in my
in a
witnesses.
conviction.
But I mean, super
in
confident.
conviction.
What
Like,
does that?
you don't control what
I
a
don't even
jury
know what
does.
that means. I mean, what it means to me is that anytime I've been super confident of anything, then that's when you least expect to get hit with something. But you got to go in confident on your case. I mean, super confident. I don't know. That's like being kind of pregnant.
There's two different kinds of confidences we're talking about here, and I think we're missing each other. You're talking about super confident in conviction. I'm talking about super confident that I've got the right person.
Well, I have to be
The
super
person is
confident.
guilty. I am 1,000% convinced they did it because I heard it. I know it. I've got some evidence that's inadmissible. That makes me less than super confident in conviction. So I think under those circumstances, yes. But if you are not super confident that the person you are charging or perhaps prosecuting actually is guilty, then you can't do it.
I don't
Boom.
know.
I got Al to agree with me.
No, you didn't. He doesn't necessarily disagree with you.
Yes. Yep. Correct. I mean, I could, pull a Darnell and just, feign all over you and just go, of course, Vinny, you're right, Vinny. You're right, Vinny, right. Vinny's always right. But I don't do that, Vin. I challenge you. Okay? I challenge you.
No. There's a difference between challenging and always trying to think of a way to not agree. Like, there's a difference.
Wait a minute. You know what?
There's a difference in the approach.
I'm not like
Let me wait. Just give me a moment so I can figure out why I can disagree here. Even if I sort of agree, but there has to be somewhere, someplace in what he said that I could just kind of and
yes, it makes you a better host. Look at it this way. You know what? I mean, you got all these other people fawning all over you. Okay. I come in and I give the douse of reality. The douse of reality.
So
reality.
The last jury foreman said that Wendi drips with guilt. Says Colorado. Yeah. I'm trying. How do I say his or her name? Colorado YAA YIA Colorado yeah.
Beats the hell out of me.
Colorado yeah.
Colorado yeah.
Well, this is what I've been saying though. You get this case in front of a jury down there in Tallahassee, she gets convicted. She absolutely gets convicted, and no doubt, which is why I believe they're going to bring the case. Because they are super. I would say they would be super confident in a conviction in bringing that case. What they're not, what they may not be super confident in is whether or not are there issues that a judge or an appellate court would have in terms of the level of proof. And I don't see. Well, you never know what an appellate court's going to do. You don't know what the issues are. Because they're not beholden to the same level of direct accountability, right? Like when an appellate court overturns something, they're doing it as a group, number one, and number two, it's not like a judge by themselves on the bench saying, "Prosecutor, you haven't proven the case. I'm setting her free." It's a different thing. It's a whole.
But they also give exceedingly large amounts of deference to the judge with regards to assessment on credibility, assessment on different things. So if they get you on what people love to yell as technicalities, and that's what they are. That's what they're looking for. They're looking to see whether it was if the law was explained properly to the jury, if the charge was not deficient, things along those lines that we call technicalities. That people say, oh, they got off on a technicality, which are in essence basically constitutional rights.
I'd like to give you a glimpse inside my mind. You two are, having a very intelligent discussion about this, from a lawyerly perspective. And I'm listening. And when Al's talking about on a technicality, I'm thinking to myself, the world title does not change on a technicality in professional wrestling. That's where my mind was going. Like I was wandering off into thinking about when the Blackjacks, Lanza and Mulligan, would get disqualified and lose the bout, they wouldn't lose the title. Just thought I'd let you know what goes on up here.
On a technicality.
Right.
Well, but they don't. They generally then throw it back to another trial. So in essence, exactly what you said happens.
A rematch.
Very rarely, do they say, okay, you're completely free? What they say is, we're going to send this back to the trial court, and you're going to have to do this, this, and this. So, it is sort of the same thing, Jonesy. The analogy works. And poor, that affected poor Roddy Piper in a number of instances.
Yes.
And by the way, folks, we're live streaming on my Facebook page, on my Twitch, on my YouTube, on my X, and on the Court TV YouTube channel. Hello to everybody over on Court TV watching today.
Hey.
Make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel as well. And if you're watching on my channel, head on over to Court TV and make sure you subscribe. And they also have a fabulous membership program, very exclusive membership program with some great little doodads that they get as a result of being members, which is kind of cool over at Court TV. So make sure you do that cross-referencing. I'm looking for something here. 1 second. Where is it? Here we go. Yes, and TJ Arl's Spirit has become a YouTube member over on the Court TV channel. Congratulations, TJ Arl's Spirit over there. And we bang the gavel for you. Fantastic. All right, gentlemen, it's about that time. I need to eat. I'm type 1 diabetic, for those of you who aren't familiar with me, and I've been stricken with this condition. But I'm handling it very well. But from time to time, I do need to eat so I don't crash during the show. So it's about that time for me. I did have a snack before the show just to make sure, but the snack is wearing off. So it's that time.
That's fair.
So thanks again to the fabulous Mod Squad for helping us out. Thank you for all the super chats and the great conversation. Great to see and hear from everyone today. Al, where can folks find you? I guess you're going to find you tailgating.
Well, MetLife Stadium, tonight, starting at 4, game is at 7. So I will be there, Don Bosco versus St. Joe's of Montvale, and go Bosco. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock, I will be doing an interview with Daryl DMC McDaniels.
Oh, wow.
Of Run DMC in Ridgewood. He's got a new book out. We're going to be talking about that. Christmas in Hollis, which was a phenomenal song.
Was that the name of the book too?
It is basically the name of the book too. It's a children's book that he's doing with regards to what went on in his childhood in Hollis, Queens.
I love Daryl Mack. That's great.
So
how's he doing these days? Well, you'll find out. Like,
did
he have a problem with his voice?
I'm sorry?
Didn't he have a problem with his voice?
Yeah, he did. But I mean, I the last time I saw him was the Rock the Bells for the
and he was performing
anniversary, and he sounded really good. He sounded
good.
I saw him jump on stage at the Stone Pony with Jesse Mallon with a live band and do a couple of songs, and he tore down the house. And one of them was "It's Tricky," which references his father, and he was singing with his son. So his son took on the lyric about his old man kind of thing, and it tore down the house. I love that guy. Wow, that's beautiful there. Al.
2 o'clock in Ridgewood at Bookend. So if you guys are in the area, stop by, and he'll be taking pictures with everyone and stuff like that. So that's always a fun time. And basically Monday night, back with Vin. From 8 to 9, closing arguments on Court TV. And hasta la vista, Las Tanginistas, and go Bosco.
Jonesy, where can folks find the radio legend?
Well, I think I might take a ride to Fort Hancock, the historic site there in Sandy Hook, and watch the sun go down. So meet me there in, I don't know, about an hour.
Named after Winfield Scott Hancock, who was badly wounded at the Battle of Gettysburg.
Indeed. All right. And you can find me every night on Court TV, your front row seat to justice. 2 hours of live true crime. Nobody else is doing it in the business. 8 o'clock, closing arguments with Vinnie Politan. 9 o'clock, Vinnie Politan investigates. 8 o'clock, we take a look at the big stories of the day. Then at 9 o'clock, we go a hyper focus on one case and do a deep dive into that. That's every night, 2 hours live true crime on Court TV. I guess that's it, folks. Thanks so much. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Great spending some time with you on this Friday. Say good night, Jonesy.
Good night, Jonesy.
True Crime Podcast. We'll see all of you in court. Somebody say tangent, tangent. Somebody say podcast, podcast. Tangent, tangent, podcast, podcast. This is the Tangent Podcast. Good night, everyone. Good night. Thank you for all your support. We are the Tangent True Crime Podcast. We'll see you all.